So now on to the second leg, which was a very, very different game to the first leg, at least as far as we were concerned, because we carried on with the formation and the system that we had employed in the second half of the first leg, um, and basically allowed us again to have more of a monopoly on the ball than Genesis would. I think if you look at the possession stats, we probably had 10% more, probably had 54% to their 44%, somewhere around that. And also we had the ball in very dangerous positions. Now, bearing in mind they weren't totally out of the game. I think Loris made some great saves in the game. There was some. They had their moments, Genesis, but nothing. Nothing. They didn't put us under any pressure, should I say? They just had their moments, and you know, we kept the ball a bit. And the first goal was brilliant. It's the sort of goal I'd score, one of my favourite goals this season. We won the ball back in midfield, went very quickly up to Lewandowski, and Lewandowski didn't score any goals in either leg, but in both games he played such a great role holding up the ball and bringing people back into the game, and played it up to Lewandowski, who held the ball up really well, occupied 3 or 4 defenders, and Genesis were playing so deep that it was allowing Vidal and Hamsik to just dominate that sort of area of the pitch, that no man's land between the box and the centre circle. It was basically owned by Hamsik and Vidal. And basically, Lewandowski had occupied some defenders and was able to pass it back to Hamsik, who was in that sort of no man's land. And when you're in that part of the pitch, it allows you to, you know, uh, to survey what's in front of you. And Lahm had made a beautiful run between the right back and the centre back and was just onside. And his defence was so set that Aniel could put it over the top. Hamsik puts the ball over the top. Lahm makes a great touch and smashes it into the bottom corner, and it's 1-0. And we felt in control for the rest of the half. I think near the end of the half, we just started passing it around just to make sure the scripting doesn't hit us and we can get out of the half still 1-0 up. I'm very confident that we can see out the match. And rolling into the second half, again, it was pretty much more of the same. I think we were more or less on top of it. They had a great chance with Reus that Loris saved with one hand. It was great save and kept us in it. But other than that, I think that was their only big chance. And again, similar goal. We played it up to Lewandowski, who ran away from the box. Again, occupying defenders. Now, this is where the prolific winger badge comes in. A lot of people know prolific winger badge is still switched on at second striker, which is where Neymar was playing. And it makes them make these really dangerous runs. And when Lewandowski pulled out the box with the ball, Neymar ran into that position to replace him. Lewandowski put the ball over the top. Neymar, brilliant touch into the box. And he did the outside curler, one-on-one with the keeper. Another brilliant goal. And I hasten to add that Neymar in the last 4 or 5 games has really stepped up for us, man. He has really stepped up to be our best player, and hopefully, going forward, he can prove to be as great as Ronaldo and Ronaldinho were for us. The Brazilians we had who've all won titles for our club. But yeah, Neymar scored a goal to make it 2-0 and to give us relative comfort. The game rolled on until the 85th minute or so, when they got a goal back. We made a big mistake. Basically, he did a long ball with his keeper. Alaba was actually pretty much in the fullback position. He was playing left midfield, and I ran all the way forward to try and win the ball. Didn't win it. Left a massive gap, which enabled him to attack with 2 men down the right-hand side. Big mistake. We had enough defenders back to defend, but it caused a melee. And in the melee, Santi Cazorla pops up. I think this is his first game back, maybe his second game back. And he gets a goal. Fair play to him. They worked it and got him back in the game. Now, I brought on Jamie Vardy, and this is in the eventuality that they want to play silly buggers and get a goal, make it a tense finish. I wanted Jamie Vardy to just get rid of any idea of a tense finish, which he did straight after their goal. We played the ball around. I think we lost it once, but got it back pretty quickly. Played the ball around a bit. We were just trying to angle and create space. In the end, we got it, passed it out to Lahm, out on the wing, and Vardy was on the shoulder. Saw him on the shoulder. His defence were in a bit of a dog leg, and we knew we could play that pass around the corner in that space between the goalkeeper and behind the defence. And Vardy owns that space all the time. Played the ball in. Vardy picks up the ball and finishes sweetly in the bottom corner, and to make it 3-1, and the game's over. And overall, other than that first half of the first leg where they just basically smashed us, we were on top of this leg. I think before the game, the plan was to smash them in the first leg, and then to play a more conservative game to conserve it in the second leg. Obviously, that couldn't happen because we messed up the first half of the first leg. But what we were proud of is that we were able to adapt, which is something that you can only get from preparation. You can't adapt if you're not prepared. And then also that the players who wanted to step up stepped up. And that's what we're proud of. Thiago Silva at the back was incredible. You watch the video, the amount of crosses in the box he dealt with them. It does help when you've got a defender with 95 jump and another defender with 90 jump, and that does help. Lahm was brilliant. Got a brilliant assist and scored a goal in the second leg. Hamsik, two brilliant plays in both legs that were very vital, and he scored a goal in the first leg. Vidal put in a lot of work. Hamsik put in a lot of work, a lot of tackles. Loris was brilliant in goal, made some very vital saves. Even when we were getting 2-0 down, he made a lot of vital stops. One in the first leg comes to mind where Zeko was through, and he managed to. Zeko did a poor touch, and Loris was there to get it. But then in the second leg, the one-handed save from Reus was a worthy save. And Pepe did what he did. The most notable mentions for me in the game were Hamsik, who was just out of this world, and he's probably played himself in a starting position in the final. And our man of the games, hard between Hamsik, Lahm, and this man, but Neymar. Neymar stepped up and scored that vital goal to get us back in the game, and he essentially scored the goal that killed off the tie in the second leg. Scored 2 goals in the second leg. I think he scored 4 for us in the last 3. And he's pretty much been involved in all the goals in the last 4 or 5 games, and he's really stepping up to be our best player after a quiet start for us. First few games we weren't really being able to get him in the game, but yeah, man, we're in the final now. It's going to be against Wanderers, and it's going to be tough against Wanderers. Their style of play is very, very aggressive. They like to get down those wings, get those crosses in. It's going to be very, very tough, but it'll be equally tough for them. I think they've got a lot of people out. That's if they don't just play them. But they've got a lot of people out, and we'll be expecting to give a good account of ourselves, and we want to make sure we don't have a start against them like we did against Genesis, because if we start like that against Wanderers, they're a team that can settle down, and once they get a lead, they can play a certain way. So we'll be looking to put them to sword very early and very accurately. And our form is good of our team. A lot of players are up this week, so we're very much looking forward to putting them to use. So it's been an interesting season. Been a funny season. I think no one can argue that City have been the best team this season. Overall, they've been very consistent, and they faced a Wanderers team that was in ascendance. And Wanderers, watching that game, they did that move they did to United earlier on in the season, the long throw, the nod back, and then the finish. They did exactly the same thing to City. And respect to them, I think Wanderers, that was a very entertaining game. Good goals from both sides, and I think City, the season for them, it's a hard way to finish after such a dominant display in the league. But these things happen. You can't win them all. For me, I'm just looking to carry on my unbeaten streak. I think it's going to go, to the final, probably go to 10 games or so. And we really are not looking for that to change. We have to win. It's kind of the mentality. Part of the reason why we feel like we ended up beating Genesis is because, we had to beat him. We had to win. Regardless of what he thinks he's going to do, we know what we're going to do, and we're going to do it. And we're always going to games under the impression that the opposition is going to have to do something special to win here. I don't believe we have to do anything special. I believe we have to play our game and do what we're supposed to do. Whereas I feel like, against Genesis and invariably against Wanderers, they're going to have to really play their best game. And I don't believe I have to play my best game. I have to believe I play the right game and give a decent account of everyone on the pitch. And we should be victorious. Okay, well, thanks everyone for the season. Hopefully next season there'll be more teams in there, more players, and it'll be even more competitive, which I believe it will. I believe that, the next season will probably be more competitive than this one. This in essence was really a first season like this. And looking back, there were problems mid-season, but looking back, it's gone pretty well. So we're now at the end of the playing season, and let's just hope. Let's just hope that it can be as successful next year, or should I say, even more successful. Not as successful because there are problems, but I think going forward, it's really important for us to win this inaugural title against a very strong Wanderers side, a side with history with us. To be fair, we've had our run-ins with this club, and I think they're putting on a face of confidence and sort of laissez-faire, but they'll want to win as hard as anyone else, and especially against Rovers. I think a Rovers scout for Wanderers is always something that they want a lot. So we'll see in the final. We really don't look at one team or another team to beat that much. I feel like if City were in the final, if United were in the final, or if Rapid, I'd want to beat them all as much as anyone. I really don't have a certain team that I feel like I want to beat. Maybe Genesis. Maybe Genesis is a team, just because as soon as they joined the league, they beat us 4-0, and we that was a really weird game at a time where I really didn't actually want to play the game. So I think Genesis, there's a little bit of needle there when I play them, but everyone else is kind of like, nah, you put them in front of me and I want to beat you all the same. There's no, I like this team or I like that team. So going to the final, it's just another game for us. It's just another game. We won't be particularly nervous. We'll be wary of the talents they have and the skills they have, but we won't be nervous. We'll be ready to play. So everyone should tune in when you get that video in. But anyway, good luck to everyone next season, and we expect to give a good account of ourselves on Wednesday at 9:30 p.m.